Good evening, Councillor Inkster. Can you hear us okay? If we can do a sound check.
Councillor Inkster, we cannot hear you. Can you hear us, Councillor Inkster? You could wave. Okay, you can hear us. I don't see that you're muted, so
Yeah.
Oh, there we
Louder.
good. We can now hear you. Thank you. Okay, we're all right. Good. Thank you. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of council, June 4th. It's 7:01. We have the land acknowledgement in our agenda, and I'll call the meeting to order. I note Councillor Shepherd and Toth did indicate they would not be joining us tonight. Council, any concerns, conflicts? We have the agenda in front of us. I'll entertain a motion to adopt. Thank you, Councillor Bell. Second, Councillor Rowe. All in favor? Councillor Inkster, did you vote, Councillor Inkster? I think you've got to I assume you've got to turn the volume up on your end, but because Councillor McLaughlin, I believe, can hear us okay. So the motion for adoption of the agenda, if you could just signify. Okay, well, for something like that, I think we can take the majority vote on that. I do want to check, Councillor Inkster, you can hear us, sort of? Okay, maybe won't try and do IT support from here, but thank you. All right, Council, we can then go to item 5.1, which is a request for variance on a property we've seen before. We have the report on pages, I believe, 3 and 4. I think if we've got any questions, Mr. Allen can try to address them, but essentially we're taking what was approved previously and moving it to different dates to allow for weather. And so did we approve the last time 100 meters? This is the same.
Yes, that's correct. Apologies for bringing this back. The last council resolution was generic, but there were dates specified in the report. So out of abundance of caution, we thought we would bring this back to council, but the last time the dates didn't work out due to their work schedule and the weather, and they have new dates lined up. Regardless of when that specific date is, we will notify or ask them to notify within 100 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, so council, we have a recommendation on page 3. Any comments, concerns? Councillor Rowe.
Happy to move recommendations.
Thank you. Seconded. Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Great, thank you. Okay, then we move to item 5.2, which is my notice of motion. It's before you for consideration tonight, and I just acknowledge we have several members of the community, of our community here tonight to just to witness this. I want to acknowledge you guys. I've had the opportunity to meet with you a few times over the last few weeks, and you know, I just want you to know how impressive I am, how impressed I've been of you and your passion, and frankly the difficulties you're going through are something that I hope we can help address. Council, I'd also let you know that we have about 50 employers on a list that have been contacted, and many of them are in the process of providing letters of support. I think also the SDBA has signified their support of and as are some of the directors of the Chamber of Commerce. I haven't had a formal meeting, but they are indicating that they're supportive. So I think Agnes Kabe is here. If any, Agnes, did you want to offer us just a short couple of words? Okay, just come up here, please, and press the button for the microphone.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed community leaders, our district councilors, sir, ma'am, our Honorable Mayor John Henderson, our Canadian Tire owner, Sir Jeff Andres, and fellow residents of Sunshine Coast, good evening. My name is Agnes Kabe, and I stand before you tonight representing the temporary foreign workers of Sunshine Coast. I am here to address the important issue affecting many temporary foreign workers and families, including mine. Many of us have been part of the community for several years and significantly established strong ties and made substantial participation in our community, in the local businesses, particularly in the retail, food service, and healthcare support sectors. Many TFWs have brought their families to Canada under the IRCC pathway open work permit for family members of foreign workers. However, the recent and drastic immigration changes on January 21st, 2025 have created uncertainty about our future. We are now faced with the difficult choices, either to return to our home country as a family or have our family members go back while the primary temporary foreign workers remain in Canada for work. This separation could lead to anxiety and depressions for TFWs who will be left behind in Canada. Hence why I am making our way to the local community to let you know the challenges that we are dealing with. Despite of our willingness to be a long-term part of our community and to continue our integral role in supporting the local businesses and enterprises, we are so anxious as to how we will renew our family members' work permit due to the eligibility requirements imposed by the IRCC. I strongly believe that recognizing our value to our community is crucial at this time. We are not just a temporary workers. We are neighbors, we are colleagues and friends. We have built our relationships, learned about the Canadian culture, and adapted to local ways of life. Our children attend school here, and our spouses works, and sometimes they volunteer in the community. By supporting our petition to include the Sunshine Coast in the Rural Community Immigration Pilot Program, or alternatively, proposing an extension to open work permits for the family members of temporary foreign workers who are already established in our community would also be beneficial. This support would enable families like mine to build a stable and long-term life here, potentially leading to permanent residency. This impact would be felt not only by our families, but also by local businesses, customers, and the broader community, ultimately contributing to the region's growth and development. This is not just about us and our families. It is also about the businesses we work for, the customers we serve, and the community we care about. As we move forward, I trust that we can work together to address these challenges we face and build a more inclusive and supportive environment for all the members of our society. That's all, and thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Agnes. Okay, thank you. Okay, I appreciate that. So council, do you have questions, comments? Councillor Rowe.
Thank you for speaking and thank you folks for attending. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I can't support this at this time because I don't feel like I have the background on why this is happening in the first place. So it's certainly something that I'd like to have a discussion with Mr. Wheeler about, but I can't be in support of writing a letter of support without having more information. Thanks.
Thank you. Do you have particular things you'd like to know? Do you have questions?
Well, I'd like to understand what is behind the change. I mean, the federal government must, I'm sure that something is driving this, that this isn't a random change just for the fun of it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to understand what's behind it, because I may have supported that in the federal election. I don't know.
Okay. I suppose I can offer from the research, and I have talked to MP Weiler. The part of the process is, as I understand it, we are kind of lumped into an urban environment. And as we all know, when you go to Google, we're considered to be only 20 kilometers away from Vancouver, or even closer to Nanaimo, which of course we know is not realistic. So it's the categorization that we are considered more of an urban environment than a rural one, and that is what has triggered this. So certainly, you know, my notice of motion requests a letter of support. I think that's where we're, you know, we certainly have a lot of work to do both. Well, I would suggest it's probably more MP Weiler because ultimately immigration is a federal thing, but I'd certainly encourage you to support the spirit of this, and with that, that's part of the process. So we would take it forward to Mr. Weiler to see what he can offer. I should indicate too, he's confirmed that he is available later in June. I think the date is yet to be confirmed. Councillor Bell?
Yes, and thank you as well for coming and speaking so compassionately about this. I also understand that to be the issue around the category that you are placed in. So I am actually going to support a letter of support.
Thank you. Councillor McLaughlin, I see your hand up. And can I just check, do we have Councillor Inkster still with us? He dropped off.
It appears Councillor Inkster left the meeting after the vote for the noise variance.
Okay, thank you. So, but yes, so we still have a quorum. Okay, thank you. Councillor McLaughlin, please.
Yes, you can hear me?
And thank you.
Yeah. I was just, I appreciate the folks there coming forward and the work they do, and the unfortunate need for them often to have to leave their own country, and often without their families, which is, has been a long-standing difficult situation. So it's nice that they are bringing their families over. I guess the unfortunate part here is that, we're facing this American tariff issue and job issue ourselves, which makes it very hard to just do things as we had until recently. And also, I was actually reading the National Post yesterday, had an article from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OCED, which is basically the developed countries, where they analyze all the countries, and they were commenting on Canada, and that in Canada's survey, the issues of housing affordability and worker productivity are two areas in which Canada now ranks amongst the worst in the developed world. And so it's unfortunate, but it says that, the record high immigration has made housing affordability and, as we all know, the issue. So it's hard to know if this is a good idea when our federal government now is trying to take on these big challenges, and they have a lot on their plate, more than I think I've ever seen before. So I don't know if they really can change this approach right now. I hesitate to ask them to do that because they just have so much to do, and all these things work together. And just kind of glad that we have somebody at the helm that can figure out the connections and the various things. So unfortunately, I'm not going to support it today because I do think we have to let our government and our MP continue with the incredibly, unfortunately, very, very important work that they've been so diligently doing for the last month or two. I think we just have to focus on that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so no Councillor Inkster. Okay, I think in response, Councillor McLaughlin, the issue is not about, I did read that article as well, and I found it, one of the challenges, it's a bit like talking about homeless people, that there's, within the category that we tend to use of one word, there's several categories. And in this case, immigration, there are categories ranging from students to skilled workers that are agreeing to go to work to a specific location. My notice of motion is related to the Sunshine Coast and the employers, among others, that depend on these people to work, to keep their businesses operating. We have a letter coming, I know, from one employer that will be saying it is likely they will have to severely curtail their hours because they won't have enough workers. The OECD report referenced a lack of housing in a sweeping across the country thing. I guess I'm just wanting to emphasize to all of council that this is about what's going on the Sunshine Coast. And it is severe for the part of the employers. It's severe for healthcare. It's severe for the elderly that depend on people in this category. So I would ask in this situation that you reconsider it. Where both Councillor Rowe and Councillor McLaughlin, we're looking for, my proposal is a letter of support. We don't need it, but in terms of the group continuing to work on appealing to MP Weiler and others, this isn't necessary, but I think it's the right move for the District of Sechelt to be supportive of this part of our community. Any other comments? Yes, Councillor McLaughlin. I saw, sorry, was your hand up?
Thanks. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Yes, unfortunately, the policy is a federal policy. And also, as councillors, we have to think about, the good of all people in our community. And I can see that this is primarily, I think, coming from the business community. But, we have to think about everybody in the community, maybe think of other ways to provide services. And, because we're just in a state of change. And I don't think we can just ask the government to go back to what they just decided to do for the good of Canadians. Thank you.
Okay, I do need to, if I wasn't clear, or perhaps I put the wrong emphasis. This, originally it was Agnes and some of her peers that approached me. After we talked about it, I asked who else was impacted by this. I was told employers, and as I relayed, it is employers certainly, but it is the individuals, some of whom are in the room here, and it's also a lot of customers, a lot of clients. I said earlier, elderly. So the people impacted, this is not coming from the business community only. Okay, so, council, nothing else? We'll call the question then. All in favor of my motion on page 5 of the agenda? Opposed, Councillor Rowe and Councillor McLaughlin opposed. The motion is defeated. Okay, we'll go on then, council, to the agenda, which is the SCRD reports, and neither of our SCRD reps are with us. So we can go to the council reports, and perhaps we'll start with you, Councillor McLaughlin. And then Councillor Rowe.
Yeah, I don't have too much to report. I haven't been feeling well. I did go to a meeting on the weekend thinking I was feeling pretty good, but out of the goodness of my heart and for my own sake, I've been laying low and not sharing my coughs with anybody.
Hey, thank you for not sharing. Councillor Rowe?
Hi, thanks. So in the last couple of weeks, I did something I have only ever done a couple times in my life, just for all of our 800 viewers out there who's wondering who actually wrote the letter to the editor. That was me. So I have done that, have received a FOI request with regards to that. So what makes one wonder if our 800 viewers are wondering who wrote it. So I just wanted to speak to it. Other than that, I took a vacation and enjoyed a week in somewhat cloudy, but lots of sunny Alaska, and happy to be back.
Thank you. Councillor Bell?
Attended the Salmon Enhancement Festival, which is always a delight. To see all the little kids put all the little fishes in the water as they head to Chapman Creek and go out to spawn. I think it's quite an event. I mean, it's incredible to see the number of people there, but also see the youngsters appreciate what salmon does for the biodiversity and ecology and the environment. I also attended a Davis Bay Elementary School road safety blitz yesterday and on June 3rd, and it was excellent. It was great to see we had our staff there and District of Sechelt staff, bylaw officers, police, and firemen there. And so we just got a chance to observe what it was like to see when the school buses came in and the parents dropped the kids off, and really just how easy it would be to just at a moment's glance have an accident and to see someone hurt. So there's some work we need to do up there. We have our engineering staff there, which is fantastic. They're actually doing a observation. They have a co-op student there right now that's going to be up there in the morning and at other times to observe the pattern and the behaviors of the people driving in that area. And I think that will be very helpful for them to determine what that's going to look like in the future for the safety of the kids. There was another one at the West Sechelt Elementary School today, so it's a great initiative. I was happy to be part of it and to see the whole community behind this. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, I've got a number of things to raise. First of all, you'll see in the lobby, we have a consultation and have your say on this building. There's a public event, I think, Friday, 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock here, and in the farmer's market on Saturday. So a chance to give your input into what you think we should be doing with this building. I want to also acknowledge staff for getting the tax notices mailed out on Monday. I did have some calls late last week, and I saw somebody today who was not quite overjoyed to get his tax bill, but that's what we kind of expect. But it's a huge job, and I do want to say thanks for dealing with the uncertainty of the post office situation. I attended a GMF council meeting remotely last week. I attended a celebration of life for a dear friend and mentor in Hong Kong, again remotely. We had a public hearing last week, and also an interesting discussion about transit planning at the intergovernmental meeting at the SCRD. Our MLA Randy Neal spoke to the Chamber of Commerce on Friday at the and told us what's going on as a new MLA. And we last night had an APC meeting that I attended to learn a bit about a proposed Tibetan meditation center right close to this building. And a real treat, today we entertained and welcomed two young ladies, OJ and Scarlett, who were mayors for the day. And so council would be happy to know we had a discussion and debated the issues, and we voted, and it wasn't unanimous, but I think at the end we all support it. And that is that we need a bowling alley, and it's to be located in Wilson Creek. So that was a fascinating process and a 15-minute discussion to hear the kids discuss whether it should be, true story, Pam, whether it should be in Tewanek or anyways, they settled on Wilson Creek. And finally, I want to congratulate Gracie Hemstreet, our own Gracie, who became the first Canadian woman to win a downhill mountain biking World Cup event. So way to go, Gracie, and hopefully when she's not on tour, we'll be able to congratulate her. Yeah, so those are the good things. Another one to flag is about community safety. As council knows about, I think most of you would know, about 10 days ago, there were some multiple incidents, including a home invasion and assault with a weapon. I'm happy to report charges have been recommended by the RCMP, who, by the way, responded very promptly. The suspect is out on bail with conditions to not go to the neighborhood. But meanwhile, the victims have been traumatized, and one was physically injured, as were two RCMP officers, all with what we tend to call minor injuries. And I'm just so frustrated with how things are going. I'm frustrated and I'm angry. I think as society, we've lost our way. Surely the minimum we can expect and our residents can expect is to feel safe in their own homes. So I think, council, we have to ramp up our efforts. You know, the Community Safety Committee has been working, but we've got to get much more focused on how do we protect our residents. And that, as with the earlier discussion around the immigration, relates to us advocating for what's good for our community. The second thing is to respond to the letter that was published last week, signed by 5 councillors. I'm not sure where, but my message in that the communication that I put out on social media was to encourage people to run for office, and expressing my personal views on Bill 15 that was before the provincial legislature. So where the idea that somehow is referring to the governance audit or to anything to do with staff, that's not accurate. So I stand by the, and I encourage people to look at running. I encourage people to get to know what Bill 15 might mean for us. But the governance audit that was raised in the letter is not one of the issues that I was referring to. I hope that the council that say they want to deal with the governance audit that was issued a year ago, that you'll actually decide to proceed with implementing the other recommendations that have been waiting. I get that people are upset on council, but, you know, we've got some important things to do. And I think that things like what I referenced, victim safety, caring for the folks in the room, and advocating on so many fronts is what we really need to do. That is my report. Council, I think that brings us to the end of our agenda. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor? We are adjourned. Now we can go to questions if there are any from the public.